Hello, hopefully this thing is on. Sorry for AI generated thumbnail. I don't know if I will have time to to make a better one. But yeah, it is what it is. Today plan is pretty simple. Uh, this is something that kind of like comes up from time to time. But it is the fact that like I never did any of the like lead code or data structures or algorithms or any of that sort of stuff. Um, all of my career, I usually got the interviews that were like either like very simple kind of like fizz buzz thing, right? Just to see if people know which side, like the backend joke, right? Like, how do you sit before a computer and type something up, right? Or it's going to be like a bit more kind of like serious, right? So it's going to be like, hey, what did you build? Like, how did you build it? That stuff. It's not going to be like, how do you sort a string or something like that. So, um, but the lead code style interviews are kind of like showing more and more, especially uh, when I was looking uh, for the job. What is like 2 years ago? A lot of companies had kind of like automated part of the interview where you would spend like an hour talking with some sort of bot, right? Like solving some sort of like pre-existing tasks and all that stuff. And it's like, well, for that one, they're obviously using some sort of lead code. So it looks like that's probably going to be kind of like more and more of a thing, um, because like AI allows people to generate more and more like applications. So as someone who is like looking for candidates, right, like you need to do more and more filtering of all the noise and all that stuff. So I feel like this is probably the time. I don't know. I recently got promoted to like staff, and all that stuff. It's like I've been doing coding for like 15 years now. Yeah, it's probably time for me to start learning lead code, whatever that means. Yeah, I'm seeing Shreyas in chat. Hi. So yeah, I have no idea where to start. I know that there's like a category of like easy, medium, and hard. There are like people who like compete over the lead code, kind of like who can solve it faster and all that stuff. Yeah. I don't know how my video is looking, by the way. I see that like Google is struggling a bit with the bitrate, but it doesn't look bad. I moved here, so like I have like in different internet that is not great, especially the like I don't know like sometimes at like 1 a.m. it just like stops working for like 5 minutes, and it's like yeah they're probably like restarting something. So no, I'm on mobile internet. Oh yeah, yeah. So oh yeah, you were helping me last time fixing some of the like the technical stuff, and I accidentally put like stream settings for Twitch to like 300 bytes per second instead of like 3 kilobytes per second. So I looked at the like the recorded video for Twitch and it looked terrible. But I guess yeah, you're like on the phone or something, so I didn't even notice. But yeah, fun stuff. Hopefully, kind of like it would work fine. But again, not serious enough topic so that like I won't be I won't be upset if it didn't get doesn't get recorded. Okay, anyway, so I know that they have this like medium, easy, hard things, and people who like compete with lead code or I guess like advent of code. I did advent of code before, but only like the first few and all that stuff. So and we did something that was like kind of like lead code when I was like in my high school, I guess. Yeah, we did like in Turbo Pascal. So I don't have like any memory of that anymore. Um, And the what I've heard is that like all the kind of like job applications, they will usually only like ask they only ask the easy questions, but like sometimes they might do medium. So I will probably only focus for easy stuff right now. But I will see if I just to play with like I don't know, just to play with like different levels maybe later, just to see what they are about. Again, I have like no idea. I was never like interested in any of that stuff. And again, like most of my career, no one would like ask me that. And I feel like that time is kind of like ending. I think they're going to. I think it's changing. Okay, so let's start with some sort of homepage and let's see if it gets easier to understand what is going on from there. Okay, peak one algorithm database. Okay, problems. Okay, pandas. I know they're like katas or whatever. What are pandas? I have no idea. Easy might actually be too easy for you. Well, that's the thing, right? It's this whole thing is stupid. This whole thing is not like testing anything. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like a very like low opinion of the all the LeetCode stuff. So interview crash course. I don't know if that's what I need. I need to figure out how I can do the easy, medium, hard stuff. That's what I'm looking for. Problem set. Okay. Okay, so this looks like something that like Primeagen would show. So this shows me that I'm probably going to into right direction. Static plan. What is static plan? Okay, this is probably like too much for me. Um, so algorithm database. Okay, there's probably some sort of filtering. Okay. Okay, difficulty easy. Okay. Save as a smart list. Okay. This this looks like people have too much too much yeah. Interesting. So this one is because like I did like one like I submitted one of the solutions because I had it as like my like interview question. Oh, I'm seeing some chat. Uh, uh, this page loads a little slow. I think devs need to do more LeetCode. Yeah, exactly. Like if only they solved the database questions, their website would have worked much better. Okay. There are some numbers. There are some closed ones. I don't know what that means. There's some sort of percentage acceptance. Oh, that's kind of like how quickly people usually solve them. Interesting. How is that different from medium? Okay, I don't know. My assumption is that like easy, medium, and hard is just the amount of time it takes for you to solve it. Like the it's not that like one is necessarily harder. It just like I understand it as it's just like longer, right? So like maybe they want to do like two easy ones instead of like one medium, or yeah, maybe they don't want to spend any time at all. Okay, anyway, how do I? They're sorted by something. How do I sort acceptance tags? Okay, I need like a random one. How do I do a random one? Pick one. Okay, well that sounds good. Essential hub for key tools such as run code, submit notes. Yeah, and like the big thing is that you are not using like your real editor, so you can't rely on the on the I don't know like Copilot, right? But you can also can't really rely on like ID and stuff. I think that's a like a big part of the like a LeetCode style. Okay, tabs, coding space. I don't want to customize anything. Like, why are this is so much like stuff that I don't care. expand, collapse. Okay, settings. Okay. Well, okay. You're giving string jewels, representing the type of stone that are jewels, and stones representing the stones you have. Okay, so A, B, C, X, Y, Z. Each character in stone is a type of stone you have. You want to know how many of the stones you have are also jewels. Okay. I think the idea here is that like you introduce some like crazy language that like AIs can't easily solve it or whatever, right? And the same thing with the advent of code is like they will have this like elves and Santas and all that stuff, and it's like what? Oh, I'm searching a substring. Why didn't you just tell that? Okay, letters are case sensitive, so A is considered different from stone. Yeah, so I guess it's just like, well, you have an array of numbers. Okay, example AA stones AA BBB. Okay, output 3. Okay, what is 3? Uh, each character in stone. You want to know how many of the stones you have. Okay, so I'm counting those letters. And if I see A, I need to see if A is a jewel. And if it is, it's 1. Uh, and like this one's is also, but not this one. Okay. Example, right. That's, yeah. Maybe you're right that this is like, it's going to be too easy. Okay. Constraints. Jewels. Okay. This is like a strange syntax, but I'm guessing both of them are not empty, but also not too long. Only English letters. How would that be important? 26 plus 26, 52. Yeah, I don't know what that would be important. Or characters of jewels are unique. Yeah. Um. Well. Okay. Yeah, I think that's helpful, right? So I don't have to do it twice. Um. Okay. There are some hints. Use debugger, run, submit. Okay. How is run different than submit? Okay. Well. Let's see. If I return 0 and if I run, okay, so they have some sort of tests. How do I see tests? I guess I don't. Okay, cool. Right. So the output should be 3. Oh yeah, that's the same one as the like, yeah, okay. So those are the tests that I'm running against. And once I submit it, they're probably going to run until like a random ones. Okay. Well, they always like use hash maps for stuff. I don't know if I should be using hash maps. It feels like, yeah. So I think my biggest struggle is going to be syntax, just because I haven't coded with like, um, I haven't coded without the like autocomplete and syntax highlighting and all that stuff for so long. So yeah, uh, I'm going to. Okay. Well, important thing is that you start with stones. And let's say that you do, yeah. They're also always about like some sort of optimization. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how that's important, but okay. Let's say I have this like output that is 0. Then I'm doing for each just because I remember the syntax for each better. And if I will just output plus plus and return output, right? So now my tests are going to be wrong because it's going to be like 6 and 2. Oh, interesting. Doesn't exist. Yeah. So this is sort of stuff that's going to be hard for me. It's just remembering all the low level like arrays and string manipulations and stuff, right? So output 7 expected, blah blah blah. Okay. So now the idea is that I need to check if the symbol is in the jewels, right? So I'm going to say whatever jewels contains s, right? And if jewels contains s, then I'm going to do output. It's also I don't have syntax. Okay, right. So that should be good on the includes. Yeah, this is the sort of stuff that's going to be hard for me. You're submitting too frequently. Okay. Right. So now I'm passing the test cases. Now I can submit. I don't know what's the point of submitting is. I guess you should check the acceptance rate. Okay, let's see. This is going to like judging, right? So it's going to run it. So yeah, it runs in 0 milliseconds. Yeah, I think it's I think it's a bit silly, yeah, to try to like compete on performance. I remember when like I used LeetCode once, I ran my thing and I was like, oh, you're like in top like 20%. And I just rerun it 3 times until I got into the top 1%. It's just like you're measuring Node.js. It's like all of those like milliseconds are going to be kind of like useless. Okay, so yeah, which means I wonder if I still don't remember like the TypeScript lower level stuff. I wonder if I should do it like in Python or something, uh, just so there's less syntax to remember, but also maybe like the runtime thing is going to be doing anything. Anyway, so I think the way that you're supposed to solve it is like, well, this is the brute force way. You tell people about like the O complexity, right? So you're saying it's O of stones len plus jewels len, right? So we know that like this is, I don't know, like 100, right? So it's like well, wait, don't we need to multiply it, right? Because like this one is potentially like going against the whole string as well. Um, Also, I think they don't like to use like a built-in stuff. Uh, so you're like supposed to use the arrays operations and stuff. Yeah, I'm really bad at I'm really bad at the meta game of this. Yeah, so I know that like probably like the next thing is that you're because that hash map is always the answer, right? Is like you need to go through jewels, um, and you need to say that it's like jewel map, right? And you need to set jewel map j to, I don't know, 1 or 2, I guess. Uh, do they allow to use sets and maps, or do you have to use the like the row stuff? Yeah, this is. I will need to probably like read up on the metagaming of this thing. Oh yeah, I can probably just use like something like ChatGPT. Oh yeah, that would be interesting. Okay, so if I oh, okay. Probably should use ChatGPT, but like in incognito or something like that. Or I can use T3 chat. I guess I'm not logged in there, so do they allow to do like a free one? Okay, so let's try. Um, I'm solving LeetCode during my interview. Here is the first solution that I have. What should I say and do next? Okay. Uh, oh, this model required pro subscription. Why did you select it then? Okay, let's get rid of this one. What is the free one then? This one? I don't know. This sounds like a poor people problems. Okay. Okay, so it's going to go. I'm not going to look at it. uh, Sponsored by Big T3. Yeah, he gave me, I think, like 6 months free. I used it like maybe like 3 times, and yeah, turns out that I'm not even like signed in, so I'm not even using the paid plan. Okay, I'm not going to look at that thing yet. I'm just going to like I'm just going to do my thing, and then I will compare. So because they like hash maps, I think the idea here is that like instead of doing this like includes, which is presumably is kind of like slower than a hash map because this is like O of something. Uh, yeah, I don't know if this is like too smart for easy because it's like we know that the value is 50, so like so this will actually always be well, not always, but like for 50 I think hash maps are going to be slower. uh, so yeah, I'm going to do this anyway, but let's see. So the idea is that you create this like map, right? And then instead of doing includes, you do like a J map. Yeah, it's so crazy not to see autocomplete as you type. Okay, so let's run it. Also, they're like you're submitting too fast. Interesting. Yeah. So Jules. Yeah. The split. Yeah. I need. What I'm getting is that like I'm not like debugging my code in my mind. I'm always like running it to debug it, which probably not what they wanna like see. It's probably fine for like if you're doing like LeetCode in automated thing, they probably don't like penalize you for like how much you're running it. Um, but yeah, it just like I'm trained to just like save my file and see if I get like TypeScript error or like runtime error instead of um uh like just looking at the code and seeing if it's wrong or not. Yeah. By the way, it says TypeScript here. I don't think it's TypeScript. Right? They don't run any ED stuff, right? So like it is just JavaScript. Like it's not complaining that you have TypeScript like syntax, right? But it is JavaScript. So anyway, so this will allow us to have O of like stone's length instead of like the quadratic or whatever thing. And uh, yeah, this is like this task is like I don't know. Yeah, maybe it is too easy. Because some of the conditions that they're giving, they're like useless, right? Like you can't really use that condition. Oh, it doesn't show the description anymore. Yeah. Uh, like the fact that characters are unique is like, so what? Like, are you going to do like JMap or true, right? Like that doesn't do anything. Like why are we even talking about it? So yeah, I don't know. Yes, so this would be like the second step. The third step would probably be like replacing for each with the real for syntax, which I don't know. So let's try that. Yeah, so instead of like O where it's multiplied, right now it's O of jewel's length plus O of stone's length. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, which is again, it's a constant, so it's like it's a waste of time doing this. Okay, anyway. Um yes, so I need to try to remember the syntax. So I wonder if S, yeah. So I can do S of this, right? This is probably what they want to hear. Oh, okay, this. Yeah, this editor is going to be like so painful. Yeah, so this should be the same. Again, I should probably like debug it in my mind first before running it. Yeah. Okay. Cannot find. Yeah. Yeah. Like I don't remember any like lower level syntax for TypeScript anymore. Yes. So, which is probably also like not what they want. They probably want to have like a let I less than or less. Okay, I never remember those things. Stones, length, then like I plus plus, I guess 0 here, and then it's not S, it's stones I. Yeah, which again, like this is, we're getting further and further away from a code you would actually write and you would actually use, and that's the part that like gets me. That's the part why I don't want to do LeetCode. Reminds me of college writing public static void main with pen and paper. Yeah, it is. It is like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm learning something. I don't know if I'm learning what I want to learn. Okay. Uh okay. What am I not getting? Uh so it's okay. Stones I hmm. Okay, and it's hard to, can I debug stuff? Console yeah, that's the another part that like I don't like about like LeetCode, right? Is like, are you supposed to be working on this as if you're actually doing something at work, right? Or are you supposed to be just like memorizing everything? Um, do they show the output even? This is crazy. I guess if I return, maybe the code is saved. Yeah, right. So my output is 0. Oh, interesting. So none of that worked. Okay. Well, it was a good attempt. Uh, okay. So let's see what AI was thinking about this. So, okay. So you have a working solution. That's a great first step. Here's a breakdown of what would you should do and say. Briefly explain your current solution. Um, this is my initial approach. I'm iterating through each stone in stones and checking if it exists in jewels. If it does, I increment a counter. Finally, return the total count. Discuss the time and space complexity. Right. The time complexity of this approach is O(m) times n. The length of stones and the length of the jewels. Um, right. Okay. The space complexity is O of 1 if we don't want to count the output variable. Okay, I don't know what that means. I think it went off the rails a bit there. Yeah, I should probably use a real ChatGPT. Okay, while this solution works, I see the opportunity to improve. We can achieve faster solution, which again, like if you know that the limit is like 50 characters, it's not going to be faster. It's going to be slower. It could be faster for like a million characters or whatever, right? Okay, right. Instead of repeatedly searching through jewels, we can store the jewels in a set. Right, so if I convert jewels to a set, I can do has on a set. But that's not a hash map, right? Like this is not how you solve this is not how you solve LeetCode. Okay, interesting. Convert this to Python. You only have 9 messages left. Okay, great. Yeah, so then iterating through stones would take O of M, because checking blah blah blah. This would bring complexity to plus. Okay, I was doing it. I was doing lead coding. Okay. Ask permission to implement optimized solutions. Okay. Explain the current solution, analyze the complexity, blah blah blah. Okay, I don't care. Right. Right. Optimize again. Like it's not optimized. Like why are you? Oh, interesting. So they do use set in Python as well. Okay. Right. Yeah, for stone in stones. Okay. Um. Okay. How do I get there? Okay. This is my optimized solution. What do you think about it? Okay. Uh. Okay. What's good about it? Complex correct sure of stuff. Using hash maps, you can correctly identify that using hash map is going to be faster. It's going to be slower, but okay. um, the logic iterating and populating sound, this tape stakes, blah blah blah. Typo loop condition. Yeah, right. What was the typo? Land. Right, and this is like another thing of like not using a real editor, right? And I don't know, with like my dyslexia, I don't see that what is wrong with it. I can retype it just to see if I got it. Oh yeah, I forgot to remove this one. Yeah, right. Yeah, it doesn't even print out the output. Yeah, so I'm so confused how you can actually like iterate on your solutions. It is like a pen and paper. Like I don't have like a second chances here. Like I basically need to did it out. Okay, so it does do something. Okay. Well, good, I guess. Okay, so I was able to convert it to for loop in this one, right? So like if you're doing stuff for production, right? Like you would do right, like new set from uh jewels split, right? So you would just do this. Yeah, I'm curious. Um, yeah, I'm curious. Curious what it thinks. Okay. Um, acknowledge the mistake. All right. Corrected code. Right. Interesting. So it did convert that one to 4 for cleaner iteration. Okay. Or even more consistently use for off. Um, what would you recommend as the best sync? I wonder if that like changed over time, because like I remember how all of them like hated using like a real language. I'm curious if that like changed now and they actually allow you to use like language features. What would you recommend the best syntax uh, for iterating over loops and using hash maps in TypeScript? Example, yes. Okay, I'm only 7 messages in. I need to probably sign in and look at that cool chat sync engine, whatever he came up with. Okay, so um, okay, you're asking great question. Blah blah blah. Potentially cleaner. Okay, it went to for each. Okay. Use for off for iterating. It's generally preferred over both. Okay, that's good. Uh, type explicitly. Yeah, I think it went the wrong way again. Type function parameter return. Okay. Yeah, I'm curious if I can use the. I'm curious if I can use the like AI stuff for some sort of like a mock interview thing. Uh, so instead of like running, I will try to submit that to chat. I think that's probably going to be better. Okay. I'm also curious what it thinks about like my like split stuff, right? Okay. So okay. Let's actually take their code and see if it even works, because you never know. And does it actually run? Okay. So for off will iterate over string. Yeah. So I need to learn the syntax. I need to learn looking at the code without running it. And I need to go over my kind of like thinking. Okay. So here's the plan. We're going to sign in into my T3 stuff. What is the model that I'm using in ChatGPT? It usually like works fine. 4.0. It's just normal 4.0 stuff. Why is it? Why is why is T3 chat so bad? Okay. Okay. So uh, yeah. So let's try again. Let's hope I don't have like anything incriminating here. And let's use 4.0 like I have in ChatGPT. Where is 4.0? Show all. Okay, GPT 04. 04 is not the same. Oh, interesting. Don't they have it? Oh no, it's here. 4.0. Okay. Right. So this is a official T3 sponsored segment, I guess. Okay. Okay. So sure. Uh, if I do next, will it do 772? Like, does that matter? Pick one. Okay. Okay. I'm starting to think that maybe I need to do mediums instead of easy. Um, I will probably need to be able to solve both, because I feel like what I usually get is mediums, and it is actually hard for me to solve easy because I'm like approaching it as if I was approaching medium, and it feels a bit out of place. Yes. So here's my plan. Um, I'm going to be. Oh, what is it? Like SQL? Why am I doing SQL? Okay, I think it did break. Okay, let's go back here and let's do this again. Okay, we did already jewels and stones. Okay. Uh, it's SQL again. Why is it doing SQL? I thought we were like filtering stuff. Okay, this is. Do people like use this? Do people actually enjoy this UI? Okay, this is stupid. Yes. Yeah. Measuring dicts is a big important thing for Python development. Okay. Okay. I feel like none of the buttons work, so I'm just going to scroll and click on stuff. I feel like that's a winning strategy. Okay. Giving an integer um given an integer array num, return true if any value appears at least twice in the array, and return false if every element is distinct. Okay, so we're just using. Okay. Well, there is like a easy solution. So, okay, how do I copy this? Um, so here's our plan. We're going to go to T3 chat, sponsored. Okay, the message. I'm a self-taught dev. I'm currently working on my full stack. Do you think I should build more full stack apps? Will it be enough? Yeah. Uh, I'm like a bad person to ask career advice because all of my like career movements were a bit like incidental and whatever. So like I got my first job because I was like messaging people in Erlang mailing list in Russian. I got my last job because like enough people retweeted my like, hey, I'm looking for a job thing, right? So like I don't really know how to look for jobs. So yeah, and especially portfolio stuff. Like I never had a portfolio, so like I had like projects that I was doing, right, and it was never like, oh, I know that I should be doing like a to-do app, so that I'm going to do a to-do app because everyone is doing to-do app, right? Like I was like, well, I did this, and this because I needed this for like myself. I needed this for like my like a dorm community. I did this for like a gig or whatever, right? So like, and I never looked for a real job in a real way, and I never built portfolios. So like this question is completely completely like I'm not qualified to answer that. So yeah. Anyway, so the plan is um you are um a professional coach working for LeetCode.com or levels FYI. Um, you are going to help me with mock LeetCode style interview. Act as if you are in a real interview setting. Here is the task that you need to give to me, right? And just copy paste all this stuff, figure out what we actually need. Constraints. Yep. And it starts here. Okay. Blah blah blah. Okay. Let's see if that works. I did see other people portfolios though, and I seen them on, I think, on like Upwork before, and the funny thing is that like I was looking through like 20 people, and I was like sure that like 10 of them just copied the same website. Like they didn't even like write it. They just like copied from the same place. just they found the website. It's like cool portfolios, and they just copied because like all of them look the same, and it's just yeah. I'm rarely impressed by portfolios. All right, welcome to your mock interview. Here's the process: problem, statement, recap, approach. What is it? Okay, so I'm going to try to like talk to it as like a real person. So hello. Um. Uh. Okay. Hello. This task. Uh. Actually sounds pretty easy if I will try to use built-in set class in JavaScript. Do you want me to code this for you, or do you want me to try to solve it in a more brute force way? Yeah, I'm starting to get the I'm starting to get why you said like the easy, it might be too easy. Great questions. Since this is a mock interview, I'd evaluate both. Blah blah blah. Here's what I suggest: start with a brute force approach. Take an implementation optimized. Uh, okay, okay. This doesn't sound fun, but let's try. Um, so I need to find if I have any duplicates at all. So uh, let's try to remember the syntax for TypeScript for const uh, character of, oh, it's not characters, it's numbers, right? Num of nums. Um, I need to have some sort of like uh, I don't know, scene, right? And if scene number return true, and scene number equals true, then return false. It's O of nums when. Okay. So the first thing that I need to do is that before saying this, I need to kind of like compile it in my head and like try to run through it. Okay, so function contains duplicate. All of that stuff was there. I didn't touch it, so I didn't break it. Const scene equals empty map. That should work. For const of nums, that should probably work. If scene number, so that should be undefined or like true if you said it before. And our condition is that if something appeared at least twice, I need to return true. So this is that. We're setting, so this will run if we're running like the second time, right? Like this will run if we're running this the first time. And if everything was seen only once, we will set the scene for everything, but we will return false from here. So I'm pretty happy with my solution. I reviewed, I implemented a solution, reviewed the code, and it sounds like it should work for the brute force approach. Okay. Let's see what the mocking is going to happen. Your solution is actually not brute force. What is the brute force then? You're using hash table, sure, like you have to, otherwise it's not a LeetCode. which is efficient and avoids neat nested loops. The approach has time complexity where n is length. Let's break it down. Logic, iterate through this, efficiency, correctness. The code is correctly identifies and no duplicates found. Your solution is efficient, works well for the problem. However, it's not brute force approach. A true brute force approach would have involved nested loops. Okay. To compare every pair of the element in the array, which has the okay. Yeah. I guess I'm not smart enough to know how to do it brute force. That's interesting. I never worked with other devs, and so I was thinking, can I have some work with other? Yeah. Yeah. So it's interesting. Like I was watching Ryan Carniata's stream today, and he was saying about like you have like let's say like 5 levels of developers, right? And sometimes pairing the first level and the fifth level is kind of like useless because like it's so much they're like doing everything on so like different levels, so it's going to be hard to kind of like to connect all that stuff. So I feel like for a lot of the stuff that I do, unless I'm talking, like I can talk with someone who doesn't know anything, right? It's just not going to be like as effective for them. But if I'm talking to someone who did like stuff for 10 years, it's like, oh, I can go like deeper into stuff and like we can like nerd out on things. But it's like for like a lower level, it's just like, oh, like I basically need to teach you everything. And I get into trouble with that sometimes because it's like uh, I get the feedback that's like, well, I already knew that, but it's like, well, you don't know like 90% of this stuff. So it's like if I accidentally said something that you do know, it's like it's hard for me to know. So yeah. So anyway, so I would say if you're just starting, if you like didn't get your like work yet, it is better to find someone who's like in the same position, because they will have the same like problems as you, they will know the same like language as you, they will have the same solutions for as you, right? So like if I'm going to say you, oh, I just found this cool new job, and you're like, hey, can I also work with you? And it's like, no. Like I found the whatever like the senior or whatever level position, right? But like you're looking for a junior one. But if your colleague who also like just starting, right, found something, they're like, oh, we also need like another junior, right? So like I would say it is like interesting to hang out with like a very senior devs, to I don't know, like kind of like get inspired or whatever, and like that's why people watch Primogen. It's like it's not because they actually like work with someone of that level day to day, but because it's like, oh, it's cool to see where this thing is going, right? The same as with like if you're looking at like the top 3 players in like League of Legends, right? Like it's not like you're going to pair up with them in your next game, but it's just fun to see how people, or like I don't know, chess like championship or whatever, like you're not at that level, but it's still interesting to see. But like for practical purposes, find someone who's doing the same thing. I would say nowadays, all the like the Discord stuff is very good, right? So you can find a community that is like um, that is like full of juniors. So I don't know, like in Discord, I have like like Astro Discord and like Effect TypeScript Discord, right? I will not send you to Effect Discord, right? Because it's full of like senior developers who are like, I don't know, like a architect level at their job, and they're looking for like a new architecture and all that stuff. I will send you to something like Astro, right? Because it's full of developers who are just like, I'm learning how to code, how to create blog, and it's like Astro, and they're like, okay, how do I create Astro? Join Discord. Okay, join Discord, right? It's like find communities that are like more like beginner friendly, right? And um, yeah, Astro is a good one. I think a lot of like junior developers also hang out in some sort of like a smaller like but still popular frameworks like Vue or like Svelte, uh, just because it's like they found the blog. It's like what are the JavaScript frameworks, and they're like the Svelte. They tried React, it was too hard, and like then they tried Svelte and it was easier, right? So yeah, that's probably the advice. I did I did like a small kind of like a boot camp thing for like for my friends, for some of the like the initial stuff, and I recorded like I don't know like a half an hour video of like just like getting started with like I don't know like create a GitHub repo or whatever, and I think it took them like a year to get through that half an hour. So yeah, it is a bit like trickier for me to give like this like a lower level advice. But I don't know, don't give up. Okay, so yes, with all of this thing, yeah. So I wanted to try out Set, because the idea with Set is actually yeah. Let me try to submit this. Yeah, because I didn't run it, right? Yeah. Why do people like not run it before submitting? Oh yeah, my thing is slow. Oh yeah. If only I could have a button to resubmit it, and then it will be fast. So my thing about this is that you can actually solve it with new set nums dot size equals nums dot length. Okay, length. Okay, I have to be careful because there is no syntax highlighting, right? And then it's going to be, it's technically not constant, right? Creating a set requires you to iterate through array, so like it's still technically of like length. Yeah, so yeah, the solution with set is very easy. Yes, you're absolutely right. Using sets clear, blah blah blah. Oh, but I did the thing, right? I'm like I'm returning the wrong thing. So I didn't run it. I didn't like debug it. I need to switch to like a kind of like code review mode and like be more critical of what I'm doing and like saying the description stuff out loud again. Okay. Set behavior, comparison, efficiency, blah blah blah. Both solutions excellent. Set solution pro elegant, but it's always good to have to know multiple approaches. Okay. You could mention both solution and explain what you do. Would you like to discuss anything further? Okay. Um. Anyway, so let's also submit that one. Yeah, no problem. Yay, and it's faster. Again, this is like completely random. Unless they're like actually sending like a megabyte of numbers, then it would be good. Okay. Yes. So I'm seeing my problem. I'm seeing my problem. It is actually kind of like useless to do easy. Okay. Yeah. So the easy is like a literally like a fizz buzz. It's like, do you know how to turn on computer? So yeah. Okay. So now I need to filter. I need to filter easy out. I need to filter medium. Uh, what is to do attempted solved? Well, I guess to do. Okay. Yeah, and we know that like their random thing is not really working. So okay. Uh, okay. So I'm going to say to it that okay. Now let's do new mock interview for this task. Okay. Okay. There are n gas stations along a circular route where the amount of gas at the each station is gas I. Okay. You have a car with unlimited gas tank, and it costs gas to travel from I to next one. Okay. You begin the journey with empty tank at the one of the gas stations, given to integer arrays. Yeah. Okay. Return. Yeah. So I'm giving gas numbers and cost numbers. Okay. Um, Given the integer, return the starting gas station index. If you can travel around the circuit once in a clockwise direction, otherwise, it if there exist solutions, it's guaranteed to be unique. Okay, this is a bit much. Okay, so have okay, so there's like a limited gas amount. And what does the cost do? Starting gas station if you can travel around the circuit. Okay, this is slightly crazy. Okay, uh, so you start at the station. Okay, I don't want to do this. I will just like try to go through example myself. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is amount of the gas that they have, and the cost is 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Okay. Um. So. Uh. And it costs of gas. Okay. I'm gaining gas and I'm spending it. Okay. So if I start on this one, I'm going to gain 5, but I need to spend 2. Okay, so the brute force solution would be just to start at each one of them and like check that none of them are working, and if at least one of them is working, it is guaranteed to be unique. But like if none of them are working, which again my mind goes into like the array sum and array each, and we probably are not allowed to use that, which is crazy. Okay. How much of that I want to say to AI? Okay. Um, yeah. Also, it doesn't take like a voice input. Should I try to do the uh, I don't have like a Whisper AI installed on this computer. Should I try that? Okay, maybe next time. Okay, so uh, okay, so it looks like the uh, first approach that I can start is picking them uh, is just to try every possible starting station. Okay, if I'm on the first station, I have an unlimited gas tank. Given the starting index, if you can travel around the circuit once. Okay, this is yeah. I'm still like confused on what is going on. Okay. So it looks like first approach you can start uh every possible starting position and calculate. Okay, start with every position, then go through every gas station and calculate if I can make the trip, keeping track of my tank amounts, I guess. If I can make the trip, keeping track of my tank amounts, and returning early if I'm out of gas. Oh, they also had like a conditions, right. So the arrays are the same size. The size could be big. Interesting. And the numbers are in the 10 and 4. And the input, yeah, the answer is unique. Yeah, that's fine. Which right. So I think that like the number of the gas in a coast kind of like doesn't matter, right? If you have a lot of gas, you need to like multiply this by this, so it's going to be like 10 in 9, which is like a million billion. Yeah, so there's like a potential kind of like, well, what if it like doesn't fit or whatever. um yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel like it is going to do anything in like in TypeScript. In TypeScript, it's like billions, I think. The max integer, maybe even more. Maybe I should know that stuff. Okay. Um, and returning only from the gas. Um, do you want me to try to write code for that? Okay, I can like estimate complexity, I guess, right? So it's going to be O of n squared, right? Okay, yes, great starting point, brute force approach where the driver position is valid. For each station, blah blah blah, time complexity, space complexity. Comfortable with this approach, go ahead. Okay. Okay, well, not really comfortable, but let's try. So, the first function that I need is like um, try to drive once, right? And the the idea there is that I get all the gas and all of that stuff, but I also starting position number, right? So it returns some sort of like true false, if it can do it. And then my idea here is that uh, uh, I'm iterating over starting position. Okay, this is where I'm going to be lost on the syntax again. I'm starting from 0. I need to run until starting position is uh, less than gas dot lang, and then I need to iterate over starting position plus plus. So if one of them is true, gas cost starting position, then I return true, otherwise I return false. Okay. So that's a high level. That's the like the first loop, right? So here I have the second loop. So the second loop is going to be tricky. Because of the starting position, I need to like loop over the thing, and this is another another place where I need to know the syntax. Can we connect on LinkedIn? Yeah, that's the next step, right? Like once you're good with LinkedIn, once you're good with linked lists and LeetCode, we need to connect on LinkedIn. Yeah, I think I went like viral on LinkedIn before. I got like 5 likes. Yeah. Okay. Right. So let's copy this. So uh, so we're going to say that this is like offset, and offset is going to go from like 0 to something, and the offset we're plus plusing. So now the index is going to be starting position plus. Interesting that like I don't explain my like I don't explain my thinking as much. I remember when the when this whole like LeetCode thing was happening, it was like, oh, it's just to see how you're thinking, and it's like, well, I'm not even doing that. Like, why are we saying that? Yeah, so the index for the last one. So when it's matching, yeah, it should be 0. Okay, I think this is fine. So now the idea, yeah. So this is the part that like I have like a I don't really like understand. Um, okay, so let's say that we have our tank, and initially it's at 0. So I want to console log. Yeah, it's crazy that I can't run it. It's just like I know how to like do this for real. I have like my kind of like approach and all that stuff, like how to run it, and I have like no idea how to do it LeetCode style. Okay, okay, so bad habits. Let's not do that. Okay, so my idea is that like let's say it's a current what is it? Current gas is gas at index. Then I have current uh, cost, that is cost at index. Um, Thoughts on LinkedIn. To me, it feels like the active LinkedIn people are not sane. Yeah, LinkedIn is its own culture. There are like some people who actually like real people and they still use LinkedIn. Yeah, I can't get kind of like over the whole LinkedIn vibe to start talking with them. Uh, yeah, like the Twitter DMs is my LinkedIn. Okay, so yes, so it's a current gas and current cost. So let's go through this thing. So at the start position 3, oh, interesting. Um, right. So it's index 3. Okay. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So it should be 4, 1. Okay. So the start position, you're filling out your gas. Okay. So we're saying tank um, plus current gas, right? So I filled out my tank. Now I'm going to spend it. So tank minus equals cost, right? So I was at 4 and I spent 1. Okay, so my this is not how I would think about it. So my tank was 0 and it got to 4. I spent 1. I have 3. Okay. It doesn't have the thing. Okay. So travel to station 4. Your tank is 3 plus 5 equals 8. Okay. Travel to station 3. The cost is 5. Okay. So I have 5, like minus 5 plus 4, right? Because, yeah. They're like this instruction is not written like sanely. Okay. So you can start the position. There are not enough. So start with station 2 and fill it up with 4. Your tank is 4. Travel to station 0. So you have 1. You plus 2, you get 3. The next station is 3 minus 3 is 0. 0 is still fine. You can't get into negatives. You cannot travel because it requires 4. Okay. Yeah, those instructions are written written all backwards. Anyway, so I'm at the station. I'm filling out the tank. I'm going to the next one, and I'm losing it. So if my tank is less than 0, I am going to return false. Right? So I can't drive it there, but I can do the next iteration and so on. Um, yeah, if I can do this thing kind of like once, I know that it's good. Oh, someone's subscribing to me. It used to say the name. We didn't say the name. P unit. Yeah, thank you. Because I'm streaming to Twitter now, it shows like, oh, you have like 100 viewers, and I'm like, sure, buddy. Yeah, I don't see my numbers. Okay. Yeah, interesting. It is funny that like I'm getting like more views on YouTube than I usually do, and I'm starting to feel it's because of the keyword. People actually look for like LeetCode content, which again I'm not. Okay, so so this is the step where I think I did it. Uh, where I usually have issues is that I don't debug my code enough before running it, and here I'm like trying to not to run it. So let's debug it, um, and be kind of like a bit like more specific, right? So let, because we need to change it, 0 because we are starting from the station 0. Starting position less than gas length because we want it to go from 0 until like the length -1, because you can't, if it's 3 numbers, you can only start with the index 2. Then I'm iterating the same thing. Then I try to drive. I'm passing gas, coast, and starting position. If I can drive, I can exit. Okay, this is where TypeScript would have caught me, right? So the answer is not true or false. The answer is starting position and -1. Okay, like the debugging already works. Okay, I'm starting to get the hang of it. Okay, so try to drive once. So like starting from this thing, and this is how we get to like O of what is it? Um, of gas length squared, right? Because we're checking through each one of them. Okay, so okay, so it's a gas cost starting position. Our tank is 0. We're returning true or false, which is the condition that we're checking here, which sounds good. Offsets is a let. It starts with 0. It goes until the gas length, which we know is the same one. Which is again like if you're writing this in TypeScript, it would be like so many like undefined. so so maybe like writing it in JavaScript with saying that it's TypeScript is actually like better. Because it doesn't actually run TypeScript, it doesn't like return errors. It is like interesting experience. Okay, anyway. So we're going through all the offsets. I'm hoping that this is right. This is again the thing that like I don't remember the syntax. I hope that's what it does. And this is what is going to like the loop around, right? So like it will start with 0 and so on. So we fill out the tank first, then we then we spend it, right? And as long as it's 0, it's fine. So I'm going to send it to the thing. So here is my brute force solution. Yeah, I guess should I say what I would have changed to, right? Because like it's sending me code. Great effort, solution is well structured. Uh, Small typo. Okay, again, small typos. Uh, how do I get from the typos? Where are my typos? And even this, right? Like I'm doing the like the syntax highlighting. Yes, const. Yeah, cost. Okay, this is annoying. Like without working without ED is not something that I do a lot. Okay, so I'm going to just like edit this one, because I don't want it to be like showing me the solution and whatnot. Okay, great jump. Yeah, before it was saying great attempt. Now it says great job. How it works. Correctness. Solution is correct. Okay, efficiency, time complexity, feedback. The code is clean. The use of modular is a good way to handle circular nature. How would you do that differently? Brute force approach is inefficient. Quadratic complexity, right? The next step, right? So don't tell me the next step yet. Let me run it. Let's actually check if the AI thinks that it's correct or is actually correct. Okay. So let's submit. I wonder if they're actually using like the bigger numbers and the like the oh, time limit exit. Okay. So it did die. Okay, that's I was going to say that, like that's that's something that could fail. Okay, so the question here is how can we uh, okay. I'm going to edit my thing again. I don't like where it's going with this. Okay. Um, so what I think here is that because the whatever, like how was it called? What does it do, by the way? 0000. Is it all zeros? Yeah, that's going to be a while. 00002. That's fun. Okay, so constraints, right? Um, because of the constraints, it's actually going to be pretty hard to work with brute force solution. Right, because it's like they're not saying it's like, oh, it's like 26 characters or something like that. Like this will kind of like break. This is a lot. So I need to think of a way to optimize this. Good question. 15 years production work and no lead code is something I have never heard of. It is actually not that like surprising. A lot of like my colleagues or whatever, like they also never do lead code. It just uh, lead code is a requirement if you're doing uh like some sort of like a FANG company, right? But there are plenty of companies that don't care about like your lead code credentials. They just need people who code. So yeah, it is not that crazy like in my like circles. Yeah, well, it did hinder my career in terms of like I'm not working at Facebook or Google, right? There's a cost for it. Uh, I'm a CS undergrad skilled in web dev, but now interviews ask lead code questions. I'm doing lead code, but it's frustrating. Any advice on coping with it? Yeah. So I kind of like said it at the beginning. Um, I've been working for like 15 years. I never did lead code until like the last time when I was applying for a job. I did apply for like a bunch of jobs. The ones that where I had the interviews, I had maybe like 10 companies, and out of those 10 there was like one or two that were doing like elite code style stuff. So it's like usually um it's actually interesting that like the one that the job that I have right now, they did have like a kind of like a lead code style interview. It was like an automated kind of like screening. So like you do the lead code automated thing, and then they call you for like a real interview. So technically, I had to do some sort of like lead code to get to this job, but like I had other jobs, right? So like I could have still been like completely like not touching lead code, but I see this as like a risk for me, right? If I don't have like any lead code skills, I don't again like in terms of career, right? Like I don't work at Facebook and Google, right? That's something that it is like I don't know, like for how many years now, right? They just said, here's the interviews that we have. This lady wrote a book, right? Tracking uh, coding interview, right? Like she wrote this book. When what did that happen? Right in 2008, and she's like, "Hey, do you know that like at Google and whatever, like this is how they're asking. This is what the questions that they're asking, right? And this is how you do them." And at Google and all that stuff, they're like, "Okay, we can just tell people to use this book and like never change anything about how we hire, right? Like if you want to be hired in Google, just read this book. There's like no step two. Just like the this book is the step one that you need to do, and just do it, right? Oh, getting spammers. Okay. So and now since 2008, right? Like it's almost like 20 years now, right? They just they're just happy with that, and not a lot of like other companies can afford to do that, right? Like not a lot of other companies can say, oh, read this book, learn 200 problems, right, and then we can talk. Like people will just like say like, oh, you're not Google, like why would I do this for you? But yeah, it did hinder my kind of like career in terms of like I couldn't get into those jobs, but I could get the real jobs. The problem that I'm seeing as a risk kind of like factor for me is that with I think jobs are getting more and more like inflow of kind of like people applying, and they are doing more and more filters to kind of like um to lower the number that they actually have to like talk, right? And what I see more and more is that like even like normal companies will do LeetCode style stuff as like a first step in hiring process, like for example what my like job right now did, right? And I just see this as like a more and more of a thing. And I have friends who are like, oh, I'm like interviewing for this thing, and they like me. I don't know, like CEO likes me, but I have to go through this like step with like lead code, and I never like learned how to do that, right? And he was like going for like a management position, so like it doesn't even matter. But like this is the reason that I'm seeing is that all the AI stuff is going to make this skill that I don't have, and I was hoping that I will never need to have. It makes it kind of like more and more important. It's just like, oh well, I had like 1 or 2 jobs out of 10 that required it, but like in 5 years, maybe like 10 out of 10 was going to require it. So like that's why I'm kind of like looking into this. Yeah, so so that when I have 20 years of experience, I will have like some lead code experience. Okay. Um, uh, yeah, Hang is overrated in my opinion. Yeah, it is it is overrated. It is still like good to have like X Google in your like Twitter bio and whatnot. Yeah. And by the way, people say it's Fang, right? But if you think about it, there's no Facebook, there's Meta, right? There is no G, it's Alphabet. So it's Meta, and maybe like even Microsoft, right? Alphabet, Amazon. What's the other one? Um, what's the thing? Amazon. What's the other A? I forgot. Yeah. Anyway, Airbnb or something. Are they that good that they have gotten the acronym right? But the idea is that yeah, I don't remember. Anyway, Meta, Amazon, Netflix, and Google is actually also A, right? So it's man, Apple. Okay, that makes sense, right? Apple and Amazon, right? So they want you to think that they are Fang, but they're actually man. Anyway, and some people drop uh, and some people drop Netflix from it and add Microsoft, and then it's MAM. Okay. Yeah. So we need to fix the like the complexity, right? Um. So in the interview, this is what I would be saying, right? Um. It's actually going to be hard to work with brute force solution. We need to think of a way to optimize this. And uh, how would we optimize it? I think uh, optimize this. One thing that comes to mind is that maybe uh, we should start with starting position that is associated with the highest well, will that help? Yeah, I was thinking if we start with the highest like cost, but actually hmm, yeah, this is tricky. Yeah, easy is too easy, medium is too hard. I'm like getting I'm getting I'm getting stuck here. Okay. So let's think about kind of like um let's think about this. So I'm thinking that instead of like starting position, right, going through every possible starting position, I wonder if there's a way to find like a good starting position, right? So uh, right. So what I'm thinking is that if I have like an array that is like 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, right? It's like, well, starting from any of those zeros is going to be kind of the same, right? Uh, but it does feel like uh, because of the way that is hmm, okay. I wanted to say it out loud, right? So maybe we should start with some um, specific starting position, like finding the um, like maybe depending on how much gas the gas station has or how how much it costs. So maybe if we need to test um, only 5% of the starting positions instead of all 100, it will get faster. Um, the other thing that I'm thinking is that um, how to say it, because like I'm doing this right. I'm plussing and minusing, and like this operation basically doesn't depend on the this operation doesn't depend on what we are um how to say it uh let's say that the index is like 7, right? So when I'm calculating this for 7, i I already know what is going to be, right? I don't know the tank value, but I know the kind of like the diff, right? So maybe I can pre-calculate. Yeah. So the other thing that I'm thinking is that um, I don't have to um, always do the calculation of plus gas minus cost. And instead I can flatten those two arrays into one array that has plus gas minus cost stored. The third direction is that what am I thinking? It's kind of the same. It's kind of the same thing, but like okay. I guess I have four. I guess I have four ideas. So the other thing that I'm thinking is that if I'm calculating, let's say I like flattened it out to this some sort of like a diff, right? So it's like 1 and like -1, right? So if my starting position is this, or my starting position is kind of like this, I don't know, like this part of the how do I say it? This part of the road, let's say, can be kind of like simplified, right? So one way of thinking about it is like every time I see a 0, I can just like skip it, right? So having like this array is the same as having like 0, 1, 0, -1 array, right? But like this one is going to be like in order to calculate this out of this, I only need to go through like two arrays once. Yeah, so this arrays into array cost. I can also for example, I can also skip. Oh, but then I don't know the original ID. Yeah, skipping is trickier. I can also skip sections of the road if I know that they are resulting in 0. But this will make this might make the calculation of the starting index number more complicated. Yeah, so there's like something. So the other thing is, even if it's like not 0, right? But it's, I don't know, like maybe repeating or something. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? It's like if I already had, yeah, I'm like getting into some sort of compression. If I already had this calculation, um, if I already had this calculation before, I don't have to calculate it again. The trouble is like calculating tank plus diff is not that complicated. So like how do I make that part like make sense? Yes. I feel like the first one, the idea that there's like a good starting position and there's like a bad starting position is probably a good one. The trouble is that like I need to still confirm that every one of them is uh hmm, even if I know that like I need to start from here, but if the solution is impossible, right? Like if it has to be like 0, then kind of like it doesn't matter. Like I still would have to, for the cases that return -1, picking up the right starting solution is not going to help. That's kind of like my worry. Let me try write it down. Though I'm thinking that for cases that return -1, I would still have to exhaust 100% of positions. Okay. Okay, the third direction is that we can probably store something. We can probably store something about the path that was done with a different starting position. The third direction is we can probably store something about the path that was done with a different starting position. But we are still getting the same result somehow. The fourth option is that maybe I can understand the task better and just find a different way of solving it. For example, starting with 0 in my tank and going the other direction and see yeah, how would it go if I go from, if I, what is the condition, maybe like not 0, starting like I don't know, like with -1 or something. And going the other direction and see if that will help us determine that the path is bad somehow. Okay. This is like me after like thinking about it for like 20 minutes and not writing any code. So I clearly don't understand where this is going. And implementing all of the things that I just said doesn't feel like it will do anything. So there's definitely something that like I didn't think yet. Okay. I was like too concentrated on that stuff that I didn't see the chat yet. Okay. How many LeetCode questions have I done? Yes. So this is my third one. And before I did this sort of, it wasn't like a LeetCode, but it is kind of like a more like a data structure and all that stuff. I did it like in high school, um, when I was 15, I guess. So like 20 years ago, I don't remember anything that I did then. Uh, okay. Uh, does anyone know where we are at in the problem? Okay, I don't know what that means. The problem is called gas station, so I'm sure there are like explanations and stuff, and you're gonna like search for it. Okay. Um. Okay, so let's see what it does. I'm hoping that it does the, how do I say it? Like it does the, like, I'm doing the mock interview, like here's what like a real person would say. Um okay. Uh you brainstorm several directions for optimization and I'll help you refine them. Okay. Flattening the arrays. You suggested combining into a single array. This is a great idea because it simplifies the problem. Instead of tracking gas and cost separately, you can focus. Right, but like it simplifies the problem, it doesn't make it faster. That's kind of like the practical problem. You mentioned skipping sections, negative values. But I didn't say anything about negative values, but apparently, uh, oh, interesting. Oh, it did see something that I didn't see, and this is like when interviewer is getting you like hints. It is, yeah, negative values. That's interesting. So I don't think you can skip negative values because those, yeah, I think it just, yeah, is crazy. Okay. Um, okay, greedy optimization. I have no idea what that means. Where you can skip certain starting positions if you know they won't work based on previous calculation. Yeah, so okay, I think it's like mixing up like three things at the same time. So you can skip stuff with zeros. You can't skip stuff with negative values, but you can do something based on the previous work. Yes. You suggested storing information about path already tested. This is a good intuition, but instead of storing path, you can use mathematical approach to avoid redundant checks. Right. This is something that like I'm not getting. This is the key. Let's think about it. Yeah. Okay. I don't want it to think. I want me to think. So yes. So this is the key. Understand the problem better. Yeah. And I had like I've been struggling with like the uh with kind of like the I've been struggling with trying to understand what they mean. Like for some reason I'm not getting this one. Okay. So yeah, so let's say that we have like the yeah. The way that I think about it is that like if I was doing this by hand, right? Like give me like 10,000 examples. Yeah, and like how would I do them by hand, and maybe like by doing 10,000 example by hand I will see the patterns that like appear, right? uh Actually, there's like one thing that I got right now is that if the sum of the cost is more than the sum of the gas, you already know that it's not going to work, right? So this one is the same, but the example 2 is like 10, but this one is 9, right? Like, so I already know that this one is not going to work. Oh, that's interesting. That's bad. Oh. For example, I was thinking that if sum of cost is more than sum of gas, then it will not be possible to uh, then we know that we can return -1, right? So it's like something along those lines. It's like you need to understand the kind of like the domain better. um okay. Key observation optimization. If the gas is less than total amount immediately, right? If a station fails, skip and move forward. Right. I think I do that already. Do I do that already? If a station fails. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Flatten the problem. Optimization algorithm. Optimized code. Blah blah blah. Okay, I don't wanna look at the optimized code yet. Okay. So let's try doing some implement. Okay. Uh, okay. Let's edit it again. This is getting like late, so I should I should go to sleep. So, um, uh, please let me know if you want me to code the stuff that I already mentioned, the stuff that I understood about this problem, or do you want me to work on the understanding, on finding the better approach first? Right, because I think that's kind of like how a lot of those like LeetCode questions go with me usually. Is I'm like, hey, this requires thinking. Like, do you want me to be thinking or coding? Yeah. Okay. Um, the code is correct and works better. Current quick analysis. Blah blah blah. You already identified several things. Okay, it's not. Um, um, but please answer this first. Okay. I can see you already think critical about it. Let's address the points on the guide. Feedback to brute force. Okay, I don't care. 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 Okay. Okay. It lost the plot of like uh, as mock interview instructor. Okay. The last attempt to try to get it on the rails. What you should do next. As a mock interview instructor, I can recommend focusing on finding a better approach first before jumping into coding. This will determine ability to think critically. Yeah, okay, well, that's unfortunate. Okay, so let's try to implement um, the return -1 thing first. So we're going to say some gas, let's say gas dot reduce a b a plus b then 0, and some cost is cost if some cost more than some gas, return -1. Okay. What I should be focusing on next. Okay. Optimizing the solution further. Okay, so it's saying there's like a linear complexity. Okay. Well, what is the point of linear complexity? The point of linear complexity is that we are doing probably like this this is the for each that we want to get rid of in terms of like starting position. So the way that I think about it is that like instead of trying the starting position, we should like calculate the starting position. But I don't I don't understand the problem enough uh, to figure out what that means. Yeah, so I guess I need to think what makes the position um, optimal, right? So 5, 1, 2. So if I convert it to the plus minus, so if I start at 0, I need to plus 1 and minus 2. So it's minus 2, minus 2, uh, minus 2, 4, 3. Okay. So the idea is that if I start at the minus 2 stuff, I know that it's not going to work, right? So I can when I'm doing this thing, right? So once I get to it's basically like if um yeah, so hmm I kind of like already doing that. So how do I uh like what I'm thinking is that like I know again like we want to remove like this loop, right? So if I'm instead of like instead of going through all the yeah, okay, this is why I don't like I was like, hey, should I implement that? It's like, no, don't implement that. I feel like I need to implement that the like the diff array. uh Interesting. So if I do the diff array, what does this condition about like returning -1? Yeah, yeah. Like I feel my approach is to solve this with code. Is like I know how to do code transformations until I know that like this thing is equivalent to this thing. I can change my code, I can run it, and like I can see I can get feedback that way. But it is hard for me to go to like to not having the runnable code, not having like the TypeScriptable code or whatever, right? Like just trying to like think over it because this task is clearly like over like what I can just like know the answer for. And yeah, this is very frustrating that like I can't use my I can't use my regular tools for this. Okay. Uh yeah, because like I'm like, oh, I know how to do this refactoring. I know how to do this refactoring. But it's like, yeah, but like imagine you have that. Like what would you do? Okay. So I can write in comments, I guess. That's probably like a right way of thinking about it. So I can do diff uh right, and it's like kind of like gas minus cost. I'm still typing const. So gas right. So like just do that for everything. So now this condition about like the sum of this thing is more than the sum of that thing is that if all the diffs are negative, right? So like now I can do if diffs sum is less than 0, return -1. Okay, so now let's go to the to the to this idea, right? Is that I know that my starting position can't be a negative number. And it feels like my starting position should be the biggest number, but I don't understand how that works. Because I think that like the counter example is that like let's say I have like 4 minus 2 minus 2 uh and then let's say 3 0 0. Okay, so uh right, so minus 2. Okay, so if I start at the biggest one, uh it will fail. But if I start at this one, it will not. So yeah, there's something to there's something to say about like some sort of like uh um again on some sort of reduction. So the way that I'm thinking about it is that like either there is a way to look at this and know where to start, right? So like start at the biggest one or start at the I don't know the furthest away from the negative one. So there is kind of like a thinking that there could be an answer there. The other answer is that uh, there is a way to like collapse it somehow, right? So it's like, well, solving this part of the task is the same as solving like this part of it, or like whatever. So like there is like something how we can like calculate it. So maybe like every time that we see a number of the same sign, we can collapse them. Yeah. So and then you still do the starting position thing. You still go through the different ones, but then you don't have to like uh you still do this for, but like this for is shorter, right? So like once you are mm, I don't know, like once you are here, you know how much you need. Yeah, the problem is yeah, interesting. Okay, so the way that I'm thinking about it is that about like that diff thing. So if the diff sum is 0, that means that like I can like forever run in this circle, and my gas tank will be kind of like the same in the same like spot. If this sum is like +1, right, it means like every turn that I make, I'm getting like a I'm getting +1. So I think that means that there's probably a way to simplify it by going like more than once over the circle. Yeah, like I'm still very confused how this is going. Right. So my idea about like simplifying the things of the same sign, right, is -6 7, right? So I know that I need to start at 7. how do I turn it into a thing? Okay. Okay, I think this is where I should give up, just like time wise. uh yeah. Okay, so I need to figure out how I can like I can write this down. So uh by the way, I've been ignoring everything you said about the solution. Um because I wanted to find it on my own. um, so the latest thing that I was thinking is that I can that two ways I see this could potentially be solved. There's probably a way to find starting position um, faster if we start with uh, the biggest number first, then second biggest, etc. And there's probably a way to minimize the number of calculations if we combine segments of the same sign, like 1, 2, 3, 4. For diff array 1, 2, 3, 4, -1, -2, -3, -4 to what is it? 10 -10. I can just I guess like a 0 here. 10 -10 0. Okay, so now let's hear the solution. That's completely fine. Blah blah blah. Okay. Um, okay. Start with biggest ideas first. Your approach suggests prioritizing solution most gas and largest positive difference. While this might seem intuitive, it doesn't guarantee correctness. Well, yeah, I already know that. Because the problem entire circuit, not just maximum starting gas, at a station with large positive differences might still fail. Right. Yes, I know that this might not work, but like I'm not just doing that. Yeah. Okay. Combine the segments with zeta. Interesting idea. By combining, this would allow you to focus on the net effect. By blah blah blah. What to do next? Um, this idea is very close to optimized solution. Here's how you can think about it. Instead of explicitly combining segments, you can track the current tank cumulative sum of the diff array as you iterate through the stations. Okay. What's the difference between what I'm doing with the brute force? If the current tank becomes negative, it means the current segment is invalid. You can skip this segment and reset the starting position. I'm already doing that. I think. Am I not already doing that in my solution? Okay, where was it? Okay. Uh, While this approach might not work directly, it's still worth exploring. You could sort, yeah, you could sort the stations by value and test from that order. However, it would increase the complexity due to sorting. Okay, that makes sense. Well, it's not O of n, but it's O of log n. I recommend you focus on combining segments idea. Okay. Yes, you're absolutely correct. The correct blue cross already resets position times again. But the key difference is how you're iterating through the stations. In your current solution, you're testing every possible starting position individually. The optimized solution avoids testing every position explicitly. Instead, it uses a single path through the array to determine valid starting positions by skipping. Right, so it takes the array of all the positions and removes stuff from it. Okay, let me clarify the difference. Okay, blah blah blah. Okay, okay, it sounds like uh, yeah. Okay, so let's try to kind of like write it in the comments, I guess. Um, so uh, yeah. So yeah, I don't know how to I don't know how to change this so it gets where I want to be. So okay, right. So the idea is that I don't do this uh for right, and the this function will return me the like the position or -1. So uh, find position. Okay. Uh, so so the idea here is that we are sending the like the diffs here. Diffs. Okay, we don't have cost. We don't have starting position. We um, we go through um, kind of like possible position, right? And um, so the possible position. Hmm, okay. So let's say that. So let's say that possible positions is just like from 0 to diffs len. Then so this is not possible position. This is like I. So I take every element and basically if I take diff and if diff is less than 0, uh, delete uh, delete like possible positions index, right? Like this is no longer possible position. Then I need to have like a running series. Yeah, this is where like I'm losing it. Right. And the idea is that like if possible positions when equals 1, then it's possible position 0. Otherwise, it's -1, right? Like whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I understand like half of it. Okay. Okay. You're on the right track. You can see you're trying to incorporate idea of working diffs. However, a few issues in your code that address. Okay, the keys array, blah blah blah. Optimized approach. You don't need to explicitly delete positions or use nested loops. Instead, you can iterate through array once, keeping track of the current tank and total tank. What is current tank and total tank? And dynamically reset the starting position when necessary. Okay, interesting. So, I still don't understand how that does it. Yeah, this is just my me being like not familiar with the like LeetCode style like questions. I'm pretty sure this is like a common thing. Okay. Trying to delete position, find the optimized solution. Okay, let's rewrite the solution using single path approach. Okay, so it's giving up and just like giving me the answer. This happens sometimes with interviewers, right? Can complete circuit, gas cut. Okay, so it's still doing the whole thing. So yeah, we need the N total tank. Tracks the total gas cost balance. Right, so it skips my like some stuff, right? So it probably needs that one of those solutions. Okay, so it has total tank and current tank. So this is the part that like I don't understand, and the starting point. So we take the diff, we take total tank to the diff, and we take current tank to the diff. That is fine. If the current tank is less than 0, we change the starting position, which yeah, so we know that like the 0 was a bad starting position. Okay, so they are combining two passes. Okay, interesting. Can you give examples of the code of the steps in between naive brute force solution and the final optimized solution, and the one paragraph explanation for each uh, um, um, motivation to go with the next step. Okay. Yeah. So if we got to the negatives, we know that that other starting position was bad. And we are iterating the reset the current thing. Okay, I don't get how that kind of like cycles, right? So like, why does it work from one right? So the current tank is the thing that I was doing, right? So like, if the sum is less than 0, right? Like, we know that this has to be 0. So the total tank, like, that's like my sum thing, right? Like, they are inlining that kind of like that iteration into the same thing. So like, calculating the total tank, I'm doing that. The part that I don't get is the why they're moving the starting position because of the current thing, right? Yeah, that's the part where I'm lost. So naive brute force. Okay, so it takes mine. Okay. Pre-compute diffs array. Okay. By pre-computing, okay. Um, if tank becomes negative at any point, we know that none of the starting positions between the starting position and the failure position can be valid. Okay, this is, I don't get this. Oh, it's kind of like the same idea of like my combining thing, right? So if we are, oh, where is it? Oh no, I guess I removed it. Okay, 1, 2, 1 minus 2, 3 minus 4, and 5. So it's the same idea of I was like saying, oh, we can just like combine them if they're the same sign. They're like, oh, you don't have to combine them if they're the same sign, right? If you know that this is like -1, I guess like this. Right, so the first step is like 0, -1, the -4, 5. The next step is 0, 0, 2, -4, 5. Next step is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, -2, 5. And the next step is 0, 0, 0, 0, 3. Okay. So what about, oh, because of uniqueness, right? So like if I had like 4 -1, -1, -1. So okay. So if it didn't get to 0, if from the starting one to the current one, if it never got to 0, 0 was the right answer. But if it got to minus, that means none of the answers before matter. It has to be something later. And if everything was minus, okay, I'm starting to get it. Yeah. And I think it's, yeah, I kind of like identified that like I'm not being able to solve it because uh like I don't understand how to do it manually. So yeah. Okay. Uh okay. So what's the difference between this one? Oh, they're going like while loops. That's interesting. Skip invalid position. Okay. Use single pass. Okay. Okay. I think it kind of like failed. Okay. I think they also have like explanations and stuff. Solutions, submissions. I think there's like usually some sort of explanation. Topics, comparison, similar question, discussion. Is that what I'm thinking? Don't post any solutions. Okay. Where's the solutions then? I don't get it. Oh, I guess like this one, right? And the one that's yeah, and the one that has the okay gas stations. Well, my video clearly is not going to go there because I didn't get blah blah blah. Don't forget to separate. Okay. Let's see very simple cases. Yeah, I think I should have worked through examples more. Just trying to give like a simple example, trying to go through it and trying to see the logic. I'm too focused on the code. Like I I don't like to think about the math. I just want to code it. And this is yeah, LeetCode is clearly not the coding oriented, but like the math oriented. Okay, so at index 0, get we use remaining 2, remaining 4, return blah blah blah, the return 0. Let's change cost. So the cost is more now. Okay, use 5 gas, we're short of gas. That's why try to start from index 1 instead of index 0. Okay, if we start at 1, okay, let's see, minus case, let's change the true case. We change 3 to 4. The key point to solving is that the total amount of gas is greater than equal to costs. Right, I figured that one out. Then even if gas runs out midway, starting from a different location will allow a full circuit, yes. Thus, by selecting a starting point where gas does not run out of the end, we can determine the answer. Right, total gas, total cost, we can definitely around. Once we know, okay, interesting. So we can definitely, that's interesting. Okay. Once we know that there is a solution, the problem isn't too difficult. Okay, so that's the that's the thing that I was trying to show it here. Where is it? Where's my prompt? Okay, this AI is complicated. Okay, this one. Um, do not use my naive solution. Come up with your own. Okay. Okay, so can complete circuit. Right, so two for loops. Start from one and another. Then pre-compilate diffs. I don't think you have to. It's still kind of like stuck on my stuff. For I. Okay. Okay, so it has a while. Okay. Let's keep in valid position. Okay, use a single pass. Okay, interesting. So we'll start with the main logic is to move the starting point to the current index whenever the gas falls below 0. Okay. So once we start from 0 and this whole section, okay, so this is like I almost got it when I was like thinking about like how to simplify sections, right? That's where it goes. I was like, but how do I know where to start, where to end? It's like, yeah, start with start and end with the current index. If that whole section is 0, you can start at the start of it, if that whole section is minus, you have to start before. Yeah. I was like stuck on like trying to go the other direction. But yeah, apparently that wasn't like going anywhere. I'm pretty sure you still can do it with like going the other direction, but yeah. Um, okay. Okay, I'm too lazy now. Uh yeah, so I don't have this solution. I will maybe return back to this one. It says that like it doesn't save it anywhere, which is great. Um, so I don't know if I will just have to like restart. I also don't know if like if like recorded my attempts anywhere. There's a stopwatch. Yeah. Progress. What is progress? Time limit exceeded. Right. Yep. Okay. So we know if you want to look at it, we know that like where it is. Okay. So yeah, I need to be more familiar. So what have we learned today? So I definitely learned that I'm very not used to like working uh, without my like programming tools. Um, it's not like insurmountable. It's all by hmm, I can get by if I will just keep better track of like what is going on, right? Like all the typos and all that stuff. Yeah, it now does feel like cheating. When I was doing this kind of like stuff before, not on LeetCode, but like um, somewhere like during the interviews and all that stuff, like I would usually use TypeScript. So like the fact that I can't use TypeScript here, like it proven to be like, oh, like I don't know if it's like on arrays if it includes or contains, right, like, but with TypeScript I can do. So yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy to do this like a write on paper thing. And how just not used to that I am. Anyway, um I need to focus more on just like how do you approach this if you can't run the code. How do you approach this if you can't debug it? How do you approach it if it's not checked? You need to like check everything. And I had like a random errors that were like TypeScript wouldn't catch it, right? But like returning through instead of like a number, or uh, return like doing not equals instead of equals, right? Like just like a smaller stuff. Which I guess if like a person is checking, they will probably hear me saying that like, and here is where we can like compare the values, and they will like understand that I meant this and not that. So, but like technically that was wrong. The part that I'm like I don't know how to do is um, solving the issue, solving the task like myself before I code. I think that's what is like kind of like tricky about LeetCode, right? Is like you're not showing how you code. You're not showing how you like problem solve with code, which what I do day to day. You're showing how you problem solve with math, and then you just try to write that down as code. Yeah, interesting. I knew that I hated LeetCode, but like now I know, like mathematically, I know why. Okay, great experience. It went like an hour longer than I was expecting, and yeah, I will I will have to do this again. Yeah, unfortunately, I see this as a bit of like a kind of like a my blind spot. Um, there are more blind spots than this one, of course, but this one becomes like a screening, like a pre-job interview thing, kind of like more and more recently. And if I can't get even like past the screening, right, like no one is going to listen to me, which is like unfortunate for everyone involved, right? It's like, oh, here's this developer who knows how to do cool stuff, but they don't know how to lead code, so unfortunately we can't talk to them. Yeah, I think as a like a hiring company, this is like a uh bad trade-off, but yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, um see you all around. And I don't know how much lead code stuff I'm going to do. I don't know how that's going to like improve or make my channel better or worse, right? Because I usually do like actual I usually do actual stuff, not lead code, but um I clearly not going to be able to learn this by like one session. So I will probably need to do, yeah, like at least like at least like for a year or something like that, just to get used to this whole thing. Okay, see you around.